Throughout Elden Ring, players encounter a large variety of foes. Each of them was placed with deliberate intent, backed by narrative reasons. In that regard, some of their locations stand out as noteworthy, carrying particular relevance to the game's world building. In today's video, we'll examine 5 of those cases and explore theories surrounding their presence. Let's begin. Revenants are misshapen creatures, resembling pale corpses with many limbs. They're often found below ground, or in shallow pools of stagnant water, places that are symbolically connected to death and decay. Based on their golden crowns and tattered cloaks, Revenants might be reanimated remains of minor nobles. This would explain their presence in the Shaded Castle, former seat of House Marae, a minor noble family. It also fits their presence at the Haligtree, where the Empyrean twins seemingly rallied some of the Golden Order's nobility, along with an army of knights and soldiers. As for their presence in Liurnia, they dwell in ancient ruins, 2 of them connected to the Carian royal family. Perhaps they were minor vassals of the Carians, who died in the aftermath of the Shattering. Interestingly, the Tibia Mariner in Charo's hidden grave summons revenants when threatened. This could hint at a connection with those who live in death, the main faction of undead in the lands between. Perhaps the Revenants are tied to Godwyn, mirroring his fate across the Golden Order's lower nobility. They could also be a byproduct of the Shattering, symbolizing how life ceased to be eternal as Marika's reign crumbled. Tree Sentinels are a prestigious order of elite knights who serve the House of the Erdtree. As such, it makes sense to find 2 of them guarding the royal capital from intruders, posted at the main gate to the outer wall. But what about the others? One of them roams in Limgrave, patrolling the road near the Church of Ella and the Fringe Folk hero's grave. This seems like a surprising location, given its distance from Leyndell, not to mention proximity to hostile rebels sworn to Godric. Perhaps it was sent here by Morgott, acting as grace-given king of the capital, who ordered them to hunt down newly returned Tarnished. A tactic which certainly proved effective against many players, facing down such a powerful enemy straight out the game's tutorial. A couple more Sentinels are found in Shadow of the Erdtree, patrolling the hinterland's main road. They drop blessings of Marika, suggesting she tasked them with guarding access to the shaman village, her former home and final vestige of her origins. Long after her departure, they continue to uphold her orders, secluded from Messmer's army and the rest of the Shadow Realm. Ancestral Followers are a mysterious humanoid tribe of spirit worshippers, living in primitive communities of hunter-gatherers. They're typically found underground, primarily near ancient ruins and forests of old bowers. However, one of their spawn points stands out from the rest. Here, to the northeast of Leonia, a group of them can be seen stomping at the base of a minor Erd tree, seemingly venerating it in the same way their underground brethren worship ancestor spirits. Interestingly, the local Erd tree avatar seems unbothered by their presence, meaning they aren't considered a threat to the tree, unlike the Tarnished. Surprising as it may look, this gathering actually aligns with the Golden Order's holistic doctrine, as explained by Miriel.
Oh, what have we here? Very well, let us both learn together. Heresy is not native to the world. It is but a contrivance. All things can be conjoined.
Perhaps this group was convinced by such theology, and was thus exiled from the rest of their tribe, explaining their presence here. Alternatively, they could allude to a deeper connection between ancestral follower culture and great trees, as hinted by the reliefs etched on their stelae. The Knights' Cavalry are an order of mounted knights clad in dark armors. They serve Margit, the Fell Omen, also known as Morgott the Grace-Given, demigod son of Marika and Godfrey, and de facto regent of the royal capital. They appear at night, patrolling the Lands Between's roads in search of Tarnished to hunt. To that end, most of them are found in Caelid, Limgrave, and Leonia, a long distance away from the capital. Curiously though, several of them are positioned beyond Lendel, in the Forbidden Lands and the consecrated snowfield. Perhaps the one in the Forbidden Lands was sent there as a precaution. After all, we know of one Tarnished who nearly made it to the Flame of Ruin before the game takes place. So, it makes sense that Morgott would want that path guarded. But what about those in the consecrated snowfield? They're escorting a heavily guarded coffin carriage headed southeast through the blizzard. A carriage which transports the flowing curved sword and Saint Trina's torch, two valuable relics associated with the Empyrean twins. A plausible theory is that these are gifts offered by Melania and Miquella, which Morgott sent an armed escort to collect. From a geopolitical standpoint, this makes a lot of sense, as Miquella's objective was to achieve the Ascension ritual in the Land of Shadow, and Lendel's forces lied between the Haligtree and Radahn, the one who'd serve as lord of his new order. To that end, the twins probably strived for neutral relations with Morgott during the Shattering Wars, seeking to earn free passage for their army when marching south to Caelid. Keep in mind, Radahn had already laid siege to the capital by that point. So, from Morgott's perspective, this was an opportunity to weaken his most powerful rivals by giving them free rein to fight each other. Thus, Morgott granted free passage in exchange for tribute, offered as token recognition of the capital's authority. This would explain the carriage's contents, and the Knight Cavalry men's presence in a place so removed from the Tarnished's quest. Curseblade Ascetics are an ancient order of masked Hornsent, operating in several regions of the Shadow Realm. They lie in ambush where least expected, like in the middle of a field or along a narrow passage, away from other Hornsent. Even the one in Enir Ilim dwells in isolation from his kind, perched alone on a broken stairway. This is explained by their lore, told in several item descriptions. Indeed, Curseblades were treated as outcasts and shunned by Hornsent society, seen as a scourge, likely due to their gruesome combat rites. Thus, they were imprisoned in jails along with the shaman's innards. We find one of them at the bottom of Bonny Jail, plunged into a devastating darkness after the death of their companion. When Messmer's army invaded the Land of Shadow, the Curseblades were freed and unleashed upon them, presumably inflicting sizable losses. This might be explained by their agile fighting tactics, which probably gave them an edge against Messmer's heavily armored knights in a guerrilla-style battle. Two of them still prowl near ruined churches of Marika to the south of the gravesite plain, evidently targeting crusaders, which might explain their weakened hold in this region. Another duo dwells in the ruins of Morth, a short distance away from Bonny Jail. One of them is guarding a shrine, perhaps holding on to one of the last remnants of Hornsent culture amidst the village's destruction. Another one dwells in the ruins of Rao, guarding a room full of ghosts, as well as ancient tablets and statues. Such relics were evidently considered precious by the Hornsent, so maybe this individual was dispatched here to protect them from invaders. Lastly, one more can be found patrolling the stairway to the Divine Dancing Lions Arena. Perhaps it was assigned to this spot by the Hornsent Grandam, the last surviving figure of authority in the city. If you enjoy my content, remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.